Hey there, this is Warp Speed here, just a short video about fixing the save bloat for Skyrim Special Edition mods, which we no doubt all of us have had to contend with at some point or other in the last 6 or 7 months since the release. Right, we'll get straight into it, no messing about. First, obviously you will have a Bethesda.net account. Use your PC or your mobile, go into the Bethesda.net account, find the mod you want to delete, unsubscribe from that mod first, then unfavorite the mod. Doesn't matter which way you do that, but do them both. That will release the mod from either side, so to speak, because both sides actually speak to each other in a sense. So unsubscribe the mod, unfavorite it, go into your game, go into the mod section. You need the vanilla fix settings, which basically resets the vanilla settings into the game. I'll quickly show you. Now you need to do this once you've downloaded this mod. If you don't already have it, enable the mod, disable all the other mods, or a mod or the mods that you want to disable. No, do not delete them, disable them. Get to your vanilla fix settings there, enable this mod, go into your game, go into every save file you have, run down all the save files, just the save files, not the autos, and write over them, save over every single one. If you have more than 10 save files or 15 or whatever, get rid of them all, delete them all, at least until, save about 3 or 4, save 3 or 4 save files, and don't delete your prisoner first file, just in case you want to go back there. But anyway, then once you've done that, go back into the mods, delete the mods you want to delete, then go into the settings menu on your Xbox, go into the Blu-ray, go find persistent settings. It's the Blu-ray is the third one down on your settings menu. Go into the persistent settings, which is your Xbox system cache. Clear the system's cache at least 3 to 6 times. I always do it at least 6 times, a minimum of 6 times. Do this, pop out of there. Now you need to do a hard reset. Now for those who don't know, you basically hold on to your power button on the main bar of the console, and hold for 10 seconds. Count slowly, 10 seconds. Now you'll hear your internal hard drive whirring away and your Xbox controller light will flash at least 10 or 11 times, but definitely count to 10 slowly until it's done. Turn off your system, give it 10, 20, 30 seconds, maybe a bit longer. Turn on your system again and load up your computer. And if this hasn't worked, but this method has been proven by modders who I know, and I have done this myself, it does work. Now when you get your system back on, bring Skyrim up again, bring on your mods, it should be clear. Now you can keep the fixed vanilla settings for later. You do not have to uninstall that mod. You can if you wish, but it's only a very small file, so you don't need to get rid of it. Now if it hasn't worked properly, do this all again from the fixed vanilla settings. You don't have to go into Bethesda.net because that's already done and gone. But make sure, something I've neglected to say, make sure before you uninstall the mod and turn it off, make sure that say if you have an armor mod, take off the armor from your NPC before you disable it and delete it. Take off any weapons. If you have a follower that you want to delete, release the follower, send her back home, him back home, do whatever, release them, just to make sure that there's no script or anything left that's going to cause the save file to bloat inadvertently. Now this works. If it doesn't work the first time, try from vanilla settings at least 3 times. Sometimes I've known one of my colleagues to do this at least probably 3, 4, 5 times, and it did work eventually, but it takes a long time. It is a drag. It can work. It's 90% works. It works 90% of the time. It's the best way we know, and I know, of getting rid of save bloat, the free space. Because we're only allocated 5 gigabytes, and for whatever reason Bethesda have not sorted this out, and it doesn't like they're going to sort it out in the any time in the future. But this does work, but you have to do it at least once. Now I would suggest doing it a couple of times if it doesn't work. Now if it doesn't work, you've got 2 options. If it doesn't work, the first option is to keep the mods you've got and be happy with what you've got and just carry on and just do what you do with the mods. Just, you can get rid of them, or you can just keep them and just play your game with the mods you've got. Now the second option is a bit more drastic, and it takes a lot longer to do. Trust me, I've done this 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many times I've done it, probably about 7 or 8 times. You basically disable all the mods and delete the lot of them. Don't delete your save files, that's a different thing altogether. You don't need to delete them. So if you've got say 500 hours on one save file and you don't want to delete it because you've got a two-handed Nord with is on say level 88, you don't want to delete that. So you don't have to do that. All you have to delete is the free space on your Xbox allocated to the Skyrim game. Now all you have to do with that is go into manage game on Skyrim. Find the 5 gigabyte allocated free space, delete it. That's all you have to do. That is the harsh reality of this. Is if you can't get rid of the save space bloat, you will have to get rid of the mods if you don't want to carry on with the mods you've got. And there is some ways around it. If you have got rid of mods that haven't been taken down by Bethesda.net, you can actually retrieve the mods you had before because it still exists in the save file. So say if you had an 85 megabyte armor mod and you deleted it, it might not let you reinstall any other mods other than that mod you actually deleted before. Now any mods that are, this is another thing, any mods that are deleted by Bethesda.net and are no longer available, you obviously cannot do that, and that's where the big save bloat fix, the big save bloat is a problem, because you cannot retrieve the mod, uninstall it and do all the previous procedures that I've just mentioned. So it's a risky business. You can obviously try the method I've described to you, and if it doesn't work, try it a few times. It will take time, but if it works, it works, and you'll be so much happier for it, because if you've got 120 mods or even just 50 mods, and you've got, I've come into instances where I've had say nearly 4.7 gigabytes used, and I've had 300 megabytes left. I've got down to 80 megabytes. But then after that, once you start messing with mods and taking them out, even if you do the correct procedure, if Bethesda take down a mod, you're pretty much screwed for that mod. You cannot retrieve it, and you will get save space bloat. So be warned, you will have to go to the extreme method if this vanilla fix and the procedure I told you does not work. Now, Skyrim is a great game. I love it. I've played it for 6 years now, relentlessly. I love it. I've done everything I possibly can to make sure that these mods work in my load order, using the Dropbox load order, the master Dropbox load order. It does work if you get all the mods in the right position and you do the correct things. But for save space bloat, this does work, but you've got to be persistent and you've got to keep trying, and if it doesn't work, you've got to think about the unthinkable, which is deleting them all. Thank you. I hope this helps.